Hello there. Is made by my children. Uh, Very nice. Especially my son, he will become a real chef. So that was nice. So anyway, I've been wanting to talk about this science and spirituality, which is actually a reality for me. It's not like something I was thinking about or anything like that. But as you know, I'm born in, brought up in India. I was enrolled in biological sciences, and science had been my life ever since I was eighth grade, probably. And then I had been very interested in that, and I was very good with the physics, actually, and also the biology aspect of it. But the physics was very, very high scoring for me, and really attracted my attention a lot, right? And then I became allopathic medical doctor and practiced for some 40 years or so. So actually, if you look at the world, it's like a polarized, right? By the dichotomy that we see of the science and spirituality. Science is one, and then they want to poo-poo the spirituality, and spirituality wants they don't want to accept any scientific realistic thing. Okay, but I was always drawn to the confluence of these two profound realms, right? Um, as a physician, I worked almost 4 decades, or maybe more that, and then actual clinical experience, treating patients and seeing them in the clinic and hospital, that kind of thing. And then I was always an advocate for the holistic well-being. Whole person should be treated. And also I'm a student of the yoga and ancient wisdom, and all these things make me come to understand that true wellness transcends the confines of the physical body, reaching into the vast landscape of the mind. You see, mind is a vast landscape, and the essence of the spirit, right? Essential essence of the eternal essence, right? That is there all the time. So this realization, this fusion, really shaped my journey and also my work. Okay, uh, so bridging the empirical rigor of science and the transformative depth, I would say transformative depth of spirituality. So to create a holistic paradigm for health and life, right? Science, the exploration of the observable, whatever we observe, we study that, right? So this has been the most reliable tool for understanding the observable universe, observable phenomena, from the microcosm of a DNA, that is a microcosm, to the vast expanses of the cosmos, right? So science reveals the patterns, principles, and laws, the laws that govern our existence. So it empowers all of us to combat disease, science, right? Disease, and also uh, extend the life expectancy. Vaccines and all these things really extended the expectancy, right? And improve our quality of life, right? All this really helping us, through technologies, therapies. They're basically rooted on the empirical research. You find something and you want to know about how it works, and then you study, and then you conduct experiments, and then you compare with the physicians. So, as a physician, I have witnessed the miraculous outcomes of the scientific research. Okay, and the advancements from that. Okay. You see, this modern medicine really revolutionized our diagnostic capacity, our treatment capacity, and also our ability to prevent disease. Yet, yet, there's a big one, despite these immense contributions, science often leaves questions, right? Those questions are unanswered. See, they are the questions that venture beyond the material into the realm of the purpose, meaning, and existence. This is where the spirituality came into me. I had questions. I was really thinking deeply about these questions, right? So that pointed me to journey within spirituality. It's the art of introspection. Spirituality is art of introspection. Okay, the journey within. What it does is it explores the inner inquiry, the journey within explores the essence of who we are beyond the physical body and intellect, right? So ancient wisdom traditions like Advaita Vedanta, yoga, and mindfulness or awareness, they teach us the that beneath the ever-changing waves of thought and emotion, ever-changing thought and emotion, underneath lies the deeper awareness, right? The unchanging witness, always there, choicelessly there. Okay. So that's what I was intrigued about. So through spirituality, I have done what is upon answers to some of life's most profound questions. So, okay, I do self-inquiry. That's like asking where these thoughts are coming from, and meditation, going beyond the one thought, and detachment. Detachment, all these practices of yoga and Vedanta, they reveal not only the inner peace that we have, but also a greater understanding of the interconnectedness of all. We, the trees and animals, we are all interconnected. That's what it revealed me. So, what does these insights do? These insights, they remind us that health is more than the absence of disease. It is the harmony of body, mind, and spirit. Now, the bridge between science and spirituality lies not in choosing one or the other, like a body or mind or spirit, but embracing both the complementary forces. Science and their complementary forces. See, when science offers precision and evidence, spirituality provides purpose and wisdom. And together, they form a complete picture of human existence. Science, precision, and evidence. Spirituality, purpose, and wisdom. Right? So, I have witnessed this synergy in my practice in transforming lives. So I was not like other people just sold on some things and then believed them completely. No. See, this fusion of science and spirituality, bridging the two worlds for holistic wellness. That is my purpose now. So uh, I have been doing that for some time with a company called BA PAL, right? That BA PAL really helping us to stress management and burnout and also chronic disease management and end of life care. See, so The path forward for me is promote proactive wellness, the integration of scientific diagnosis treatments, and where applicable, bring in the spirituality, right? Uh, Basically, educate and bring the awareness to people, and also build a community where people are more active in their own wellness, proactive. Okay, so it's like a dance of logic and law, right? So really, they're like two dancers for me for a cosmic performance. One represents the logic, the other one represents the love, right? And together they move in harmony. We are the one who are prejudiced against one another, but they both together in harmony. Even great sage like Vivekananda, he was very much for exploring science and also exposing spirituality for scientific scrutiny. See, so as we navigate these challenges of modern life, so if we really embrace the wisdom of the science to heal our bodies and the depth of spirituality to enrich our souls, okay, that is what we are going to do. So in this fusion lies the future, okay, where we not only live longer but live better, enjoy, okay, and peace and happiness, okay, and also we really are living in the present moment. So that I'm going to talk a lot more on this, but if anybody has any initial comments or questions, or they want to tell me how they feel about this, you can come up and share with me what is your view about it, okay. um, it's a kind of inviting people for an ongoing discussion I will have over the weeks, so that you really understand the purpose of my work going to be, and why it has benefited me immensely personally, right? So uh, it's a kind of good mix of two dancers going step in step. I'm interested in nutrigenomics. I'm interested in genome as a whole. I'm interested in molecular health, and I'm also interested in how the yogis had such a 250 years like that they lived, and they lived in joy, and how they have accomplished that. Both are fascinate me, and I think I'm privileged. I'm kind of blessed that I was able to expose to both these realms. Okay, science is there; we cannot dismiss it out, and also we have the um, centuries of wisdom, from the ancients. They didn't have this mental illness that bad. They had good relationship with the nature, and they had really interconnected with trees and animals, and they were like a nature lovers, and they considered they're part of the nature, right? And that really reflected in their mental health and in their communities and building the societies and all that. Okay, there are so many paradigms I have seen in the ancient wisdom is going through so many countries, right? Where they don't have this kind of, looks like our planet is going down, our people are going down, and then things are happening such a way that looks like nothing is really going to hold, right? But I think eventually, as human beings, we will overcome these problems and come. But then, meanwhile, take anybody how they are living in day-to-day life. What is going on? If you look at them, they are not holistic. A challenge comes, they go to pieces, right? Or they want to rely on some crutch like a smoking, alcohol, drugs, or money, or sex, or so many things, right? Not necessarily you have to be that. Okay, borrow the wisdom from the ancients and test it out, and then do it. Okay, and That's why I want to be a chief wellness officer of a uh, you know good health system where all I want is I want some research facilities of some of these wellness principles am practicing. I'm preaching to my friends and community, whoever follows me, and also invite them to investigate also. And also, these results, I want to put them to scientific scrutiny and see they can be adaptable by masses and vast number of people. The aim is how can we reduce the suffering that we see in the clinics, in the hospitals, in the society, and how can we give a joyful life to people? It's not empty words. You can be, okay? So the Vedanta, for example, they talk about two things. Atma Mokshardham, Jagat Hitaicha. First, Atma Mokshardham. What does it mean? It means take a journey within you, not with your intellect, not with your cleverness and all that, but with intuitive awareness. Take a journey within you and find out what is eternal, what is really joyful essence. And once you land on that, then you turn your look outside and find whatever is happening in society. That is Jagat Hitaicha. Jagat means what? Hitaicha, Hita means welfare, good things that you want to do. And you go and work for the welfare of the society. Okay? That is why I want to participate in the research process and contribute. Meanwhile, I'm working with whoever comes and listens and have a relationship with me, they are tasting that joy and peace and happiness within, right? So this is a very important topic for me, not to argue, not to beat anybody, not none of that. How this fusion of science and spirituality reduces our suffering. Some places it does eliminate suffering completely, and not only that, it promises a life of joy, peace, and happiness. Okay, but that has to be done by each person. It's not like I can give a prescription and make your pneumonia go away. That's that, but this is this, right? I hope I'm making sense to you, or am I talking to myself? So, anybody there, you want to come up and tell me what I'm talking about makes sense to you or not? So, it does make a lot of sense to me because I'm involved in the talk every day, right? I get a lot of attention when people who are interested in only science or people who are in the spirituality kind of look at the other perspective with a little bit of enthusiasm, interest, and wonderment. But otherwise, they are pursuing their career as a even the physician. They are just laden with all the illnesses coming across them and treating them and all that. But then they don't have the time probably to really or interest to really look in within themselves and find the eternal joy that you can have. Unalloyed joy, they describe the Indians, unalloyed joy, right? So happiness also is in there. Obviously, a lot of people do not really. Okay, Travis sent me a note. I'm just listening. I believe they go together. Yeah, it's a question of even not belief, Travis. I think it is so. It's a fact, they go together in so much way. I think with our own minds, we may divide. We may want to be settled on one thing, and if you allow the inquiry go in each direction, that's what I am doing. Otherwise, why should I be interested in quantum physics? Why should I be interested in nutrigenomics that's coming up now? Why should I be interested in microbiome? Why should I be interested in the cellular molecular biology? That's also there too. So it's a question of being interested in asking the questions. I have a guest here. Let's welcome the guest. What happened? Oh, I think he got that. Oh. So maybe try again, Maxwell. Sometimes it does. It kicks me out too. So it's a question of inquiry. Inquiry not to gain something, but inquiry into fundamental questions of our life, universal truths. Ancients had developed this inner inquiry on the fundamental existential issues of life. What is human life? Why are we here? Where are we going to go? What is death? What happens after death? Or why is that we look at mind body separate, and then we kind of create a lot of problems within our own mind. So at one time, ancients really explored this pretty well. And later on, science has come, but science didn't say, don't ask me. We both are in the pursuit of truth anyway. But we kind of separate them. You see, it's not really like a question of somebody put in there, but we kind of identify with certain thing and say, oh, only what we know is the truth and nothing else. If that was the case, none of the scientific advances were made, because you don't buy it. This is so, then we kind of look for further answers, right? And then we go and find things. For example, tuberculosis. Right? Initially, they didn't have any treatment for it, and then we found the treatment, and then the treatment is used, and then some of the treatments are very severe, like a streptomycin causing deafness and all that. So they have to find out what there is there a solution that we can apply for that. And then what happened? All the medications became resistant to tuberculosis has become resistant to the medications. So there was a resistant tuberculosis emerged, especially in New York area when I was there. There were a lot of cases. So we had to work at it and then go discovering new things and all that. So science never stops inquiring. We do. Spirituality never stops saying that find out the truth by yourself, but we do. So get out of that slumber. Don't be associated with only one thing. Look at the truth. Is the truth is evident, or you are acting as an agent of truth and trying to influence other people? Just shut up and listen. I think that happens a lot. See, I always quote this: truth as authority, not authority as the truth. There's a significant difference. If you think this man knows everything and you make him a god and then say worship and say that he's the one to, then you are doing the mistake. But if the man says the truth and then he's also advancing in the truth seeking still, that truth is the authority, not the person with those titles, with those experiences and all that is not authority. So human beings are blessed with a prefrontal cortex where we can control our limbic system, the emotional side and sensory side, and then inquire questions, and then progress on the inquiry. The deeper you go, and then don't want to accept any answer just like that, but explore it, then you yourself will land upon the truth. It may take some time, but it depends upon how much conditioning you have accumulated, where you think only scientists know all the answers, or only spiritual people know all the answers, never venturing to mix them together. Even the scientific people also, what happens is they get caught up in one faculty of ours, that is the thought. But if you go beyond it, there's so much more. That's what the ancient told you. So you have to take a journey within you by yourself. studying your mind by turning your mind on itself. And this is a branch called uh, Raja Yoga. In yoga, the branch is Raja Yoga. What it is like turning the mind onto our own mind and study it. Study its thoughts, study its emotions, study its reactions, everything, right? And then out of that study, you have insights into your own thinking, into the phenomena of thinking and feelings and all that. Okay. So it's a very fascinating subject and a very important subject and a very needed subject for us, you know. So that way, when I am in the spirituality, I'm not in the mind and also body, but they are my tools. I'm going to use them, right? Not like um, you know, I'm going to be overrun by them. That's unfortunately happening with a lot of people. They are run by their own thoughts. They are succumbing to it, and sometimes they give the problems too. So, understanding the phenomena of thought made constructs like ego and personality, and then really understanding the limitation of that, and then going beyond it and discovering new avenues is ecstatic, is really blissful and joyful too. So, but that has to be done by each person. You see, anybody tells you that I'm going to give you a magic formula, go and do this, they're not telling you the whole truth. You know, the whole truth is you got to go into your own self by yourself and study that. People don't have that much time. On the other hand, they're not stopping the material coming in, information overload, right? So many people, so much influence, so many data coming in at our way, knocking out thing, and then you have a role, a responsibility, then you're stuck with that, maybe your economic reasons or social or your own egoic reasons. You want to hold on to that role and responsibility, so you spend your entire life on that, never having the chance to really look at these things deeper, right? So it's a question of long, very arduous reflection of things and looking our reactions and inward journey and going deeper and deeper where these thoughts are coming from. What is the source? How can I be the source? Once you land up in the source, then you yourself will come and talk to me like this. So nobody is interested in this, or nobody has a question or comment. That's very strange. Somebody tried to come, but then uh, the app kicked him out. So you can try again. So I think it was some Maxwell. I think. Yeah, this should be like a dialogue. I told you how I came to this. I told you why it is important for me. I told you what I'm doing with it. And also, in the process of mixing this term, I found a company called Be a Pal, where I'm kind of, you know, trying to be a friend in helping people at least to relieve some suffering. But I strongly encourage people to take this investigation in a scientific way, in a wise way, and then don't have any prejudices and don't have any, uh, you know, kind of uppity feeling. So that's what I see a lot of times. But what is important is what kind of transformation you're going through. Suppose you are an angry person and then you have been habitually angry and then you're hurting people and then they're going to hurt you back and then eventually you figure out, oh, this is not a good thing that I'm doing. Why can't I really focus on this and then understand what is the, you can understand the neuroscience of anger, or you can understand the wisdom about anger from the ancients, what they are doing and all that. And then the end result would be either you transcended the anger or anger itself dissoluted. Then that's a very valuable thing in your the human being's real purpose is to turn inward and realize our real self. And once you realize self, all the um, rugmatas they call rugmata means like a ill function of the body and mind. They are giving a lot of suffering to the people, and you transcend them too. That's the idea. So if you don't have transformation, but you just using a transaction thing where you can teach somebody meditation, will make you money. You will teach yoga and making money. That's the only thing you do. It's not that crime or anything, but it is like a very uh, silly thing anyway, you know. But you can make that and also uh, get on the bandwagon of being a student of these systems, both science and spirituality, and study more. You know, science outward, and then what you look inward is the inner spirituality knowledge. Okay. Uh, so look for this. I don't know how often I will do it, but you know, as you know me, I will come as I find the time and talk about different topics. Probably next few, it will be this on science and spirituality, and see how many are already doing this or maybe doing this better. Maybe they have some insight that they can tell us that we could also listen to them and learn from it, but also test it out by ourselves. So this is uh, when science becomes an objective phenomenon study. Like you know, we have a theory, we have some experiments, and then colleagues will experiment together, and then the evidence is validated, and that's safe for more people. Then we release it and we follow it, right? So lot of benefits because of that. But then if you get stuck without really exploring the other thing, which is going inward, I think you are not really taking advantage of being a human being. With a prefrontal cortex developed, we are only in the limbic lobe, okay? Emotional, sensory reactions, counter reactions, and all. But once you are in the prefrontal cortex and using that, then you bring what is called viveka, discrimination from what is real, what is not, what is temporary, what is permanent, that kind of stuff. You obviously want to be the permanent thing, not the temporary, right? So that kind of thing. Okay. I am very excited about this topic because I can present to you what happened to me, what happened in my life, and how that kind of gives me balance, gives me inner contentment, peace, joy, happiness. And with that, you work in the world and you kind of participate in relating with people. And also, if we can help, we'll help them a little bit. That's what it is. Okay. Thank you all sending all those clappings or appreciations or whatever. I consider this friendly sign. That's nice, you know. But I'd be happy if people come and talk about this. Whatever, it doesn't have to be something overwhelming. It could be your experience. It could be your perspective. It could be your misgivings or you know what you have done, that kind of thing. Or you could ask me questions about my experience, and I will tell you what I'm explaining, what I'm going to do, and why I've come up to the question of proactive wellness. What it is normally we want to be well, right? And we are usually born, many people without congenital defects and all that, many people are born with a constitution that's in balance because we have misguided lifestyles. We kind of spoil that. So centuries ago, thousands of years ago, Ayurveda described this as prakriti vikruti. Prakriti is born with the metabolic or constitutional balance of our physical body and the mental body too. And then we kind of, because of the education, culture, parents, so many influences, right? Then we can get out of that natural balance into something of a out of balance thing. That's they call vikruti. So what they do is they examine your food, examine your way of thinking, examine your daily routines and all that, and they determine where exactly you're out of balance, and then correct that. Not with drugs, lifestyle change. And now modern medicine has come to lifestyle medicine, and we are really working on. I personally ran what is called TLC, therapeutic lifestyle changes. Okay, that therapeutic lifestyle changes really helped me. Uh, I'm a physician, but I don't write any prescriptions for myself. Uh, but I have not seen any doctor for any real serious illness for about 10 years now, 2014 to 2024. Okay, what it is uh, just being commonsensical, just washing myself and then saying, "Oh, do you really need it?" That kind of discrimination, discernment, and also this other quality called vairagya in Sanskrit. That means detachment for some things and let go of some worldly things. Suppose I'm interested in laddu, which is a sweet Indian origin, everybody knows, and very, very nice, especially the bundi laddu that we eat. And even now, it is available in our temple here in Aurora, Chicago. When we go there, we pick up a couple of them. But I would take a small amount of it and eat it because I don't want to be eating a lot of laddus. You can eat a lot of laddus and you can get sick like that too. But it's a very nice thing. So you are watching it and you know what is the harmful effect if you eat only that all the time. So you change that. It's common sense, right? But many people are influenced by the taste of it. They can't let it go and they have to eat a lot. So that is going out of your balance. That is allowing your taste take over you, allowing your habit take over and then losing the inner resilience to overcome those habits. That is what I am always talking about. You come to my morning practice, morning routine, that's what I emphasize. What I'm emphasizing, you need a body that is in health, that has strength, and to go and work. That's a fundamental. So, stretch yoga asanas is very good. You stretch yoga asanas and then align it with your breathing and also with your brain, body, brain, and breath, right? Two A's, awareness and alignment. Three B's are body, breath, and brain. All these things have to be aligned such a way you are in the moment, you are stretching, and you feel the effects of the stretch, and also you feel the air coming in and out as you deep breath. This way, you can keep your body healthy, your mind kind of being in the present. It doesn't think too much about past, too much about future. That way, you're always in the present moment. That is life. What is done, past is gone. What's going to come in the future, that's not it here. So, if you are in the head, which most people are, either in the past or in the future, then you are missing the current present life. I think that's pretty straightforward. But it's such a rare thing to find some people all the time in the present. I've been telling people, be in the present, whatever you do attention, pay attention to that. And then the work and everything transforms. Suppose you are talking to somebody and you are giving complete attention, they know it, they feel it. My patients feel it, whether I'm paying attention to them or whether I'm thinking something else. Okay? So it's a very simple thing. Even the relationships also. If you pay complete attention to somebody, then you listen what their pain is, what their concern is, what their real understanding of you, right? They may say something, but their body language, their way of tone of the language, or what they say, the tone of what they say, how they say it, all those things matter to you, right? and you can figure out when somebody is listening to you. Don't have to accept. At least they have given the courtesy to listen to you. You will know, right? So live in the present. Always live in the present. And my morning routine, I'm cultivating that to be in the present. Simple exercise. As you are doing it, other thoughts come, right? Let them come and go. Don't get involved in that, right? Let them, and then the same thing you do the next one. So you're always paying attention to everything. And that is the more you pay attention to one thing, the more you'll pay attention to the next thing. That's the secret. Right? So you cannot be absent-minded for some time and say, "Oh, I'm going to be present now." That is kind of weak. But if you are present each moment, then it will be. I wrote a book, Present Moment Awareness, based on this. Based on how I live. I live. Uh, something came up, and then I'm complete attention to it. And after that is settled, then I pay attention to other things. The key is whatever that comes in front of you, you're completely in life involved live, and that really makes a lot of sense. That way you live from morning to evening. Actually, you feel more energetic because you did not really deplete your energy with lot of ongoing continuous like a cyclical thinking, we call it. You think about something and you regret about the things that you did in the past that resulted in this action, and also you think about what could come, what are the consequences, and then you go back to the regret and the worry, like that, right? Cyclical thinking. Break it. How? By being in the present moment, complete attention to it. Hopefully that makes sense. And yeah, come to my morning routine. We do that all the time there. I wish some of the people who are doing it can come and tell me about what is that happening or not, or am I just assuming that they are doing it and they're happening? Some people are here that come to the morning round. Janet is there. I think she is somebody who does regularly, whom I know to everybody. So practicing these four things with me in the morning definitely helps you. Stretch your body, breathe deeply each time, align it with the movement, and keep your mind here and now, and just observe your thoughts. Don't don't suppress them or don't indulge in them. If you indulge, then it goes to one thought to other thought. It's an important job. You do it. Why do you have to keep on thinking about it? You see, this unnecessary thinking goes away when you are in your pure awareness. That is the big deal. In Advaita Vedanta, they point out um, the awareness everywhere, and that pure awareness is like a godlike, and that is what you are. Not that you have part of it, not that you become part of it, or it comes down to it is choicelessly aware, right? Once you have that choiceless awareness, we trample it by going into our intellect and by going into our past and future with our intellect and the senses. By nature, by nature, intellect and the senses, they go outward, whereas our intuitive sense of self is within. And the more you go deeper, the more you use your intuition, you can feel your sense of awareness. And that awareness is all around. And that itself is the God, divinity. That's why they said your divinity is within you. And in that, you are all one. Both may ekta. That is a Sanskrit term. That means in that beingness, in that awareness, we are all one. Not that we have awareness, but in the awareness, we are all together. That's what the physics saying too. There is only one energy, and we are all in that energy. So that's why when you really want to feel energetic, and you may have physical food and all that, and you breathe, you get the oxygen and all that, right? But then your energy goes down because you spend it on the unnecessary thinking around the situation. Don't think that's pretty smart. It's not, because I kind of discovered through the ancient wisdom learnings, there is a ever renewing energy. So the energy renews itself if you don't mess with it. You see, if you don't mess with it, it will be renewed, or you don't deplete it. This is what J. Krishnamurti talked about. He talked about how much time do you spend depleting it, putting it down, getting it negative, getting it really, go down, right? But if you have a practice of being authentic, positive, and want to do good for other people and others, you remember Atma Mokshardham Jagat Hitaisha. Atma Moksha Ardham. That means within your own self, you are so satisfied, you first gain that. And once that is done, you don't need anything from anybody. That's why you could go and really give people and also share people and all that. Uh, in that process, you are not divulging anything negative within yourself, and so you are abundant, and under abundance you are coming to serve the world. And that's why that also becomes positively reinforcing with good feelings and pleasant happiness, helping people, being kind to people. All those things feed us back, and the energy renews itself. This is ever renewing energy, ever renewing energy, always duplicating itself. But if you are stuck with a lot of thinking, you are going to deplete a lot of energy, and that's why uh, you feel like so drowsy and so spent. Body can do that, but why do you have to engage the mind like that? So once you understand this mind needs that meditation, calmness, and all that. But spirituality takes you much deeper than mind into your eternal witness. Once you are there, there is no movement of the mind. Then where is the necessity to meditate? So discover who you are and stay in that. Then that doesn't need meditation. Okay, and these people are pretty healthy because with that movement of thought, you are producing a lot of stress hormones. Test it out. Go inward. Ke- Keep quiet and then understand what's going on. Okay. So, how long we have been here? Almost 48 minutes now. So, I'll be here for another 10 minutes at least. So anybody has questions or comments, it's a chance for you to come up, and then I can really open up some more avenues. But as I said, this is not going to be one single talk. Probably several weeks of thought. This one going as I want to present things, as I come up with things, I will come and present to you. And if you are interested, you can go into those practices and okay, practice this. Pay attention to everybody that comes your way. It could be your children, it could be your pet, it could be your friend, or anything. Okay, whatever comes your way, pay complete attention to it so that your attention is not going anything else. You're cooking, you are doing dishes, you are doing your clothes, all that. Don't allow the mind to wag about, to go away. That's why they call it monkey mind, right? It does imitate, it does go purposely from one tree to other tree, and that's the nature of this one too. And they think that's normal. It's not. You just have to learn how to not to be in that kind of mind, but rather in that energy which is kind of looks at everything complete attention. Okay, you will thank me if you are not doing it now, and then you heard me and then do this. you will thank me because it gives you such immense peace and quiet and happiness within. All right. So I'm not looking for much, but I want to know whether this topic makes sense to you. Don't stay there without any comment. I mean, so many showed appreciation. There was so much clapping and all that. So I know some people found it very interesting. Some people sent me DM, okay, and Travis and other people. So thank you for that. And but think about it. Very important topic, and this is not escaping from the science or spirituality, but rather engaging more fully with life, with the two beautiful realms we have: modern scientific inquiry and ancient self inquiry within ourselves. I feel like I'm kind of blessed. I was able to engage in this activity, and learn a little bit on that, and also that helps me and also my patients and other people too. I used to practice very, very vigorously, but now I am kind of practicing this proactive wellness for people, where I say, do things, simple things you can do. Okay, first of all, go into your family history, find out what kind of illnesses your grandparents or grandparents or parents or your siblings, everybody, what kind of things they are suffering, what is the chance that you may get that, right? Suppose you are eating the same diet and you are sedentary like everybody else in the house, you are going to end up in diabetes, right? But if you are smart and you know that you have seen the suffering from the diabetes in your father or mother, then you are determined, I don't want to be like that. Then you can easily manage your health such a way that diabetes won't even come near you. Okay, you may have the gene, but the epigenetics are changed by our lifestyles. That at least we are trying to establish that. Then you can change the lifestyle and we go for the whole grains, maybe eat only fruits and vegetables without any grains, things like that. Okay. So you took the family history and also you take your own personal past history. What happened to you when you were a child? You may not have known, you may not remember, your parents will remember, or your hospital record may remember. Look at all that and don't be obsessed by the illnesses, but then understand. Suppose you have a lot of colds and coughs, and you are living in a city where a lot of air pollution is there, then you can get out of that city, go to a better. These days, we don't know where the good weather is. All over, it's going havoc, right? Then you finish your family history, your own past history, and also evaluate how your health is now compared to 5 years ago, compared to 2 years ago, 1 year ago. And then take all the data and go to a healthcare physician and tell what is the chance of me getting certain kind of disease because my brothers have it. Then they will do the genome study and they will tell you what are you prone for. Okay, and what will happen definitely in 10 years if you continue the same thing. Some genes, the dominant genes, you cannot do much. They will manifest, but the recessive genes don't have to manifest, and also you don't have to really do much except understanding all that and changing your lifestyles. That's the thing. Okay, and then your mind doesn't listen to you, your body doesn't to you. There are yogas I do that will help you to overcome that. Okay, you have to develop silence within your body, then silence in your mind, then go beyond silence to what are various stages of consciousness, right? So you understand all that. So do that proactively to preserve your wellness. That is proactive wellness. That means you have taken up the wellness as a something you want to have because you want to have a healthy body and healthy mind and healthy community. So you take a lot of what is my lot, what am I doing with my body, with my mind, what am I taking, understand, am I doing the fundamental things of Sanskrit? They said ahara, vihara, achara, vichara. That means food, activity, sleep, and mind control. If you can attend to these four very well with all the scientific knowledge available, nutritionists and other people for the diet, physical therapists, or any number of branches there for the physical activity, and then also understand what is the ancient way of good sleep recommendations, what is modern. So you can mix them appropriate for you, and then you can cultivate sleeping habits such a way that you will sleep very soundly. Thereby, the sleep restores your body and the mind. Right? Common sense. But we don't do the common sensical things. Then, fourth thing is don't think continuously and um, uh, kind of tell yourself that's smart. That's not smart, right? That's really being not so wise. Let's put it that way. So, what you want to do is you are staying in the awareness all the time, and then in the situation is like I have to go to the hospital, for example, and I have to take the car out and I have to drive to the hospital and go in, right? That kind of clarity is there. And after that, you can really forget about the map and all that because you already reached the destination. Like that, listen to the body, develop that body intelligence, and then also your natural intelligence, and not succumb to the thought, thinking I'm a deep thinker. Thought by itself is limited. It is limited and short, and there's a pity. All thought is petty, petty, petty. That means it has no real substance to it. It may discover some insights at that time. That's not the thought that revealing the insight. It is the your own wisdom. You see that revealing those because your mind is calm and quiet. You got the insight, and that insight will have tremendous consequences in all life. Okay, so I hope you practice proactive wellness by the method I showed you. You can consult me if you want, but you can come to my morning routine and start the day rightly. That means a strong body, alert but active in the present mind, and a heart full of service. And you borrow wisdom wherever it is coming from, not reading about it, but really perceiving it in your life here and now. Okay, so if you do all that, then you have chance of not only live a long life, but that life is really healthy and well and joyful, not surviving on a ventilator, but really improving your relationship with your family, with the society, and you will contribute to life, not just living the high life, but you contributing to the life. So be proactive about your wellness. Take toll of or understand where you are in all the spheres, and then start the morning routine like I was suggesting, and develop that inner resilience to overcome a lot of illnesses. Right. So thereby you live long and enjoy, and that in wellness. Okay. Hopefully that all that makes sense to you, and I would have loved more if people come and talked about this topic, but I don't quite. I always come and talk whatever I want to talk, and then I talk and go. So, thank you, and I think it's almost 1 hour, 59 minutes and 22 seconds there on my video broadcast. So thanks for joining me. There are 45 people, and one tried to come, and the app kicked him out, and nobody else tried it. So think about this topic. You can come back to my topic because I'm going to go a little deeper into this. What is scientific inquiry? Where is it at? And why many people, even though they think they are scientific, they are really not, and they are living in their own suppositions, beliefs, and all that, and they don't have real idea of what is the. Somebody finally want to come in. Please, oh, Melissa. Okay, very good. Hi, Melissa.
Hey, Dr. Al.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad you dared to come up.
Yeah, I think that you're so wise and you have so much information and it's a lot to absorb and I just try to like take it all in, but I
Yeah,
know like a lot of the things you say like resonated with me and they're things like you've helped me with in the past,
yeah,
like our thoughts and like controlling our thoughts and controlling our minds. And there was something that you said,
yeah,
and I'm just going to tell you a couple of things because I got, some things I need to finish up for school tomorrow.
yeah,
But you were talking about thinking about how your health was 5 years ago
yeah,
and how my health is now. And it's amazing to me to think of how much of a healthier state I'm in right now than I
yeah,
was 5 years ago. And, I've made a lot of changes in my life, and I'm just glad that I'm not
yeah,
letting the trauma of the past rule my
yeah,
life anymore. And it's, like you were saying, I mean, there's so many wise things that you said, but I really resonated with
yeah,
the fact that, controlling my mind and,
yeah,
it does really impact my body and all
yeah.
of my being. And there was something you said earlier, and I want to ask you about it because it wasn't on this show, and I think it was on somebody else's show, but you were saying that, oh, it might have been Elizabeth's show,
Yeah.
but you were saying that divinity is within us. Can you tell me a
Yeah.
little bit more about that?
You see, uh, physical body need to have some kind of life in it, right? And that life is always within us. You know, that life force is what is creating the life in the inert body and inert mind to be smart and all that. That sense of us, Melissa does feel I am Melissa, not because she is a teacher, not because she has this. Those are all attributes that she is here. But then essentially, the feeling of Melissa, me, that is always there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always here.
That is the divinity. Because not your ego construct and all that, they're all our thought made things, so because we made them, obviously they're not, we are not really creating life into them, but then they are like happen to us, go along with that. But then if you want to take an ant that is dead, can you breathe in life into it? We cannot, you know this. We are very close to that as physicians because we try very hard to revive a stopping heart. Sometimes we survive, but then that only lasts for so long and then they go away, right? So we know how difficult it is to breathe in life into anybody, brand new life. I cannot create. Test tube also, the life was there, that we kind of made the conditions, amenable for them. That's why the life has come in. So this is a big question in researchers who are researching consciousness. What is the hard problem of consciousness is we can reduce from physical point of view all the way to the cocks and all that, right? But then we don't know how is that innate, not life thing has got the life into it and then became alert, aware, and conscious. So we call that pure awareness is really embedded in us too as awareness. And actually, that doesn't have to grow to become another awareness. That it is so, recognition is our divinity.
So when you're talking about consciousness and divinity, are you talking
Yeah.
about like the collective unconscious? Because I know we talked about that before.
Yeah, it's not collective unconscious, it's a collective consciousness, but one consciousness which holds all of us. It's not Melissa has a consciousness and Dr. Rao has a consciousness. We are both in that consciousness that is all powerful, divine, and everywhere. All the plants, all the animals, all the life being, they have that being in them as this one force that is already there. And once you understand that, you can recognize that. We may not be able to describe it and all that, but we feel it. That's why our intuition discovers it, but not our mind. Our mind wants to make a lot of theories. It only stays there making the theories, never really going inward and touching that. So that is why it's called self realization. You have to realize by yourself that biggest self that is there. Then you have touched the divinity that is there, and then you can feel it, and then you stay with it, and that is a very refreshing thing. That's not like a something we create. It's a choicelessly there. Recognize it. That is the self. Realize it rather than recognize. Realize it. Realize that you are that, and then it's not an egoic thing because ego is a part of thought product. So it has no business of identifying with the divinity. It thinks it is the biggest thing, ego, right? So you got to transcend the ego by really understanding who you really are, and then able to see the ego and all these things are like a products of thought. They come and go. That's a good question, Melissa brought, because I was talking to Elizabeth about this inward divinity. And you see, there's a big movement from Swami Vivekananda. He said, let people realize the divinity within and also really understand that one connectedness of all. We are all connected in at that level. We may have different bodies, different colors, different statures and all that. We may have a different way of thinking and minds and all that. But they both are tools, because our real inner divinity is not there, then there is no body, there is no mind. But body cannot be without it, but it does without them. After we die, this goes away, it takes another form. That's kind of philosophy that ancients exposed and explored. So realizing our true inner self is itself big work. And after realizing that, the other next step is to be stabilized in that wisdom and stay there. And after that, a much bigger thing is how to really, it's called more like liberated while living, Jivan Mukta. So three stages, Atma Mokshardham, that's the first one, self-realization. And then Sthita Prajna, stabilized in that wisdom, not being taken away by the thoughts vagaries. Okay. And then third one is you liberate yourself completely from this kind of mind thinking, feeling, and limiting yourself to this particular body and mind. And once you are liberated from that feeling, then you are really liberated. Then while living, that's why Jivan Mukta means while you are living, you have gained that. First, I used to think realizing yourself is a big deal. It is. But then when I heard these two stages, I thought, oh my God, how much depth they have gone into. You know. So these are Sanskrit words because most of the thing are conveyed in that. They didn't write them in the beginning, but they conveyed them from teacher to student. Okay. Thanks, Melissa. Even though one person, that's a very good question, and I'm happy I was able to explain to her what I meant in Elizabeth's track. Okay, good. I'm now happy that I will take leave now. 1 hour 10 minutes now, so I will see you again tomorrow with the morning routine. Do attend that morning routine because I am trying to reverse engineer stress and burnout, and what are the things that we could do before we go to work. We can prepare our bodies and we can prepare our minds, and then we can prepare not to react but respond to things. And also, we can cultivate the feeling of service with the heart. So, we are going there with a strong body, alert mind, in the present moment mind, and also a heart that really serves, gives the love and care. That way, people are really enriched, right? And it's not just living the life, but what are we contributing to life? Okay. Many times I tell this, to the people in corporations everywhere. Don't ask for raises. Don't ask for position improvement unless you have contributed something to the life. Okay. Once you are in that mode, whatever you contribute really becomes, okay. So I will be yeah. So I did my morning routine at 8 o'clock central. Maybe it is too early for you, Melissa. You can look at the recordings if you wish, and then do that too. Then you get up. Okay, this is on the Instagram live. You can see me too, and then doing the exercises with you guys, and you can do that too. I think Janet does that. She always comes to the Instagram live, because what I do is on my computer, I have the stream ad. Right now, also, it is going to Facebook, um, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Those three channels on the computer. On my iPhone, Noom Vibe, and on my, I have three different iPads. One iPad has this Instagram, okay, live. I like to do that because I have few people following me that here and there, so I want all of them to participate. Okay, but you can see the recording on the Instagram, and you can do that yourself. All morning recordings are there. Some of them maybe I missed. When my wife was sick the other day, I could not do that, but I was able to do Monday and Tuesday also. Okay, all right. But I pop up whenever I have the time. So. Thank you for coming and listening to me. And hopefully, we will continue this series for a while till you get the grasp of what I mean by fusion of the science and spirituality in my BA PAL, and how I remain a student at the same time. I share with what I know and improve health and wellness that way. Proactive wellness is our real word. Okay? So proactively be well. Take issues of the wellness completely resolved proactively. Thank you, and I'll see you again tomorrow morning. Bye bye.